Hey guys, how you doing today? So, when I made the previous video, which was about the Fite-Light, kind of getting your gorilla on gear with just the, not using a plate carrier, etc. I came out and I was wearing blue jeans and I thought I was doing really well, and then it was pointed out to me that I was wearing a multicam combat shirt. So that was not cool at all. So I decided today that I'd try and get with the cool guys. I know it's pretty hard, but here I am wearing some plaid, so hopefully that makes me a little bit more cool. I know it doesn't really. So let's try and make it more like gorilla, more partisan. So here I am with blue jeans and plaid shirt with my gear on over the top, perhaps a little bit more realistic. So it's actually somewhere in the 80s today, humid in the Virginia woods, so it's a pretty good sort of reason. This is a good reason in terms of the temperature, weather issues that we talk about when we talk about wearing gear. It's really hot out here. I'm sweating already. I'm just in the woods. I haven't even done the lane yet. So that's a good reason for the idea of going light. You don't need to go heavy all the time, and you certainly don't want to carry too much gear. So I'm just kind of pushing this kind of notion right now. So I came out to redo the lane, but I'm not going to redo the same lane that I did before, which was a break contact where I went right up in the woods behind and I kind of broke contact, which is the most sensible thing to do in that situation. I was on some kind of individual patrol and I came, under enemy fire, and I broke contact, trying to survive. So something to consider is that when I make these videos, I kind of just jump out in the woods and make a video, and it's usually just me. I don't organize it in a huge way, and I can just demonstrate. I can do a talk, I can demonstrate some basic skills and drills, but I can't really show you any team tactics. I've done some videos like that before, and of course there are videos of classes which you can look at. So it's kind of limited in terms of what I can show you in terms of team tactics. So if today I decided that I wanted to do something different, and that would be to go forward against the enemy, I've got to have some kind of scenario for that. There's a reason why I would do that, because that's pretty, why would I go forward against the enemy with just one guy? So let's come up with a scenario today, and the first issue with this is, if I'm going to go forwards, I can't really do fire and movement because there's only me. So normally you've got guys firing and guys moving, and that's how we keep the enemy suppressed. If I decide to assault these two targets which I've got up there, then the only way I can get up there is if I keep the enemy suppressed so that they can't kill me as I'm trying to get up on them. Which means I've got to keep some accurate fire going all the time. There can't be huge breaks in it. When I did the last video, I was doing break contact, and as I was firing and then I was running back, and if there was any enemy, could get eyes on me during that period of time when I was running back, I was going to be in big trouble. If you do that as a buddy pair, one person's firing, one person's moving. That's what fire and movement is about. It's a team sport. Like they say, guys, you don't want to have to boogaloo, but if you're going to boogaloo, boogaloo with friends, okay? All right, don't take that too seriously. It's just a joke, because I see boogaloo all over the internet, all right? Not something that you want to come to pass, okay? Definitely not. So if I'm going to get up there, then I have to maybe combine some techniques. By all means, it might not work for me, okay? But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to try and run a lane now where I'm going to react aggressively to a simulated contact. Nobody's actually shooting at me. I'm going to react aggressively to a simulated contact. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and fire and maneuver on my own. Now, I can't really do that. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to combine some techniques. What I'll do is I'll sort of move from position to position, but what I'll also do is I'll apply a little bit of what we call move fire between positions. And this is a technique where the guys that are moving in fire and movement actually continue to fire as they move. And the guys that are down firing, and then the guys that are moving are firing as they move, and then they get down, and then they start firing, and the next guy goes up and he's firing as he moves. And that generates a lot of fire to the front. The danger is, if you move slowly, then obviously you're a target to enemy that's not suppressed. So there's issues with it. So if I'm going to use that today, I can't do the classic sort of flat range, hey, I'm just going to walk at this target shooting at it, because all it needs is the enemy to pop down. Maybe I got him suppressed, but he pops down behind the ditch I got him in up there and crawls along and pops up and then basically kills me. Okay, so if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to do it dynamically on the move. I'm going to try and confuse the enemy a little bit, move from position to position, use cover and concealment, shoot on the move a little bit so that he doesn't realize that when I'm moving there's no fire coming. And I'm just going to try and demonstrate something today. I haven't rehearsed this, I'm just going to go do it. And we'll see whether we can learn some lessons from one guy trying to individually assault a position where we've got two targets. Now in reality, those are sticking targets, not going anywhere. What that allows me to do is it allows me to demonstrate suppression on those targets the whole way up the range, okay? That's all it does. In reality, the enemy's going to be ducking and diving and getting down behind and trying to pop up in different kind of places, so I'm going to be suppressing them as best as I can. It's easy for me, not being shot at, to shoot at some green sticking targets. You've got to remember that in reality, in a contact situation, it's just generally harder for people to get hits, and that's why not everybody in the military is like dead all of the time, okay? Because it's just generally harder to get hits when everybody's moving and it's dynamic and it's confusing. Obviously, if I was like super good and I just killed those guys as part of my RTR drill, like boom, 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 and they're dead, then hey, job done. But then we're not really learning a lesson from it. We're not practicing any techniques. And you've also got to remember that even if I'm shooting at these guys and suppressing them and then I see no more movement from down there, the enemy's always alive when you get there. So you've got to get up there and check them, because they might just be hiding down there waiting for you, etc. You can't make any assumptions. So why would I go up there and try and assault two enemy on my own, okay? Well, let's just look at a movie, okay? So let's look at John Wick, okay? So why did John Wick go nuts, okay? John Wick went nuts because someone killed his dog. So let's make a scenario today. Don't read too much into it. Somebody's killed my dog. These two guys have killed my dog. I'm pursuing them through the woods with my light gear on, you know, so I'm not going to like pass out from dehydration. And I come across them in this area. I react to contact. They go to ground. I'm going to do my little drill fighting up onto them. Of course, John Wick, he's a 3-gun guy. I've seen the videos. He's pretty impressive, right? He would have done so much better if he'd been a 2-gun guy. Why was he wasting time with that shotgun? If he just had more AR reloads, he'd have been way, way more fine. Okay? Just saying, guys. I'm just saying. Okay. Without further ado, I'll go run this lane. Remember guys, it's not about whether you hit the targets, it's about whether you look cool in plaid.